In our previous session, you embarked on your ambitious plan to pilfer plate armor from a detested city guard. Despite Saxiron's comically poor attempt at stealth, the group pressed on, choosing to sideline him as a potential risk. Celestia, masquerading as a noblewoman, artfully convinced the guard to follow her into the underbrush with a convincingly distressed performance. However, a misjudged suggestion spell led to an unexpected wrestle with a fully disrobed guard and his undisciplined anatomy. Just as the situation seemed to spiral, Raarh called upon his primal instincts, delivering a vicious bite to the appendage that left everyone in anticipation of what would follow.
Why the fuck did you do that, Raarh? Like, seriously, man, I told you specifically not to hurt him. So what do? Bite his fucking dick off.
Unfortunately, in the midst of this shocking event, there's no opportunity for an exchange of words. The intensity of the pain the guard is experiencing shatters the spell's hold on him like glass. His jaw unhinges and his mouth gapes wide, the eerie silence a harbinger of the ear-splitting cry threatening to burst forth from his throat at any moment in response to the agony.
Joe, immediately after Raarh delivers his chomp, I want to cast silence on a stone next to the guard.
That's incredibly quick thinking on your part, Celestia. What save does he have to make for this?
That's the beauty of it, Joe. He doesn't get a save since I cast it on an object and not him directly. So anything within a 20-foot radius of the stone cannot speak and is classed as deafened. That also includes Tronald and Raarh.
Impressive indeed. As your spell of silence weaves its enchantment onto the stone, claiming a sphere of stillness in the surrounding 20-foot radius, the guard's mouth stretches into an open wail, but his outcry is muted, swallowed by the spell, his silent scream echoing in the suddenly soundless void.
Well, now what's the fucking plan?
Shh, Tronald, you can't speak. You have been silenced.
Nobody can silence the Tronald.
Well, apparently Celestia can, and she has, so shh.
Okay, well, I'm going to gag the guard with some of the clothing that he removed and bind his hands. Once I am sure that everything is in place correctly, I will drop the silent spell.
Well, with the guard pinned under the combined weight of Tronald and Raarh, there's really no need for a roll. You take swift action, ripping apart the clothes the guard had hastily removed, improvising them into a rudimentary gag and restraints. Once satisfied with your handiwork, you let the focus of your spell wane, the aura of silence dissolving back into the air.
Well, that was a fucking awful experience.
I seriously doubt it was a worse experience for you than it was for him, Raarh.
Have you ever had another man's dick in your mouth?
Well, no, but that's really not the point.
Then you really can't compare the two, can you?
You have a bizarre mind, dude. Anyway, now that the guy has been restrained, what's your plan?
Let's not sugarcoat our situation. Given our actions, setting this man loose will surely summon a tempest of troubles in our direction. I regret to say, but we need to make certain this predicament is closed, conclusively.
I don't know, Tronald. There's a difference between stripping someone naked, stealing from them, and then outright committing murder. Because if we go down this route, there's no other way to look at it than murder.
Celestia, he's seen our faces, he knows our voices. He'll bring down the entire might of Waterdeep upon us. We would be hunted, hounded at every step.
I don't know, Tronald. Killing him because he's seen our faces sounds like something that the Obetus would do, not us.
I do not take the potential ending of a life lightly, but I'd rather bear that burden than see our dreams, our aspirations, crumble under the weight of regret. If we falter here, we do more than risk our lives. We risk our purpose. The good we can bring to this world, the lives we can change and save, that far outweighs the cost we have to pay today. So steel yourself, Celestia. This is not an act of cruelty, but of survival. Our survival.
Whatever, man, I guess he was a dick anyway. And by the sounds of it, he was most likely planning to rob me, kill me, or both. So crack on.
I don't know why this conversation has turned so serious. It's really not that big of a deal.
Raarh, your ruthless realism contrasts with Celestia's compassionate heart, and that's the beauty of our team. Our contrasting perspectives are what allows us to discern the optimal path in any situation.
Well, you guys do what you need to do. I'm going to tell Saxy he can come back. Whilst on some levels I do now agree with you, Tronald, that this must be done, that doesn't mean I want to be around when it happens.
As you turn to depart, Celestia, the plaintive, muffled sobs of the restrained guard reach your ears. The plea in his eyes anchors you for a moment, a silent cry that implores you not to abandon him to this grim fate.
I say to the guard, I'm sorry, but it was your greed and ambitions that led you down this path. And I carry on walking, Joe.
Brutal.
Well, Raarh, I'll let you do the honors.
Thank you, Tronald. Although, just so you know, I don't plan on eating this guy. The sample I've had has really put me off the idea.
That's okay, Raarh. It was never actually mandatory for you to eat him. We just need him silenced permanently.
Raarh, as your gaze falls upon the captive guard, a desperate entreaty sparkles in the depths of his fear-stricken eyes. It's a silent, final plea that resonates with a hope you can almost feel, begging you for mercy, for a second chance.
Don't try them puppy dog eyes with me, naked man. Joe, I raise my axe in the air, ready to deliver a killing blow. But before I take the swing, I say, in your next life, keep your fucking dick away from people. Then I cleave down.
All right then. Well, once again, there's no point in making you roll for this. A city guard doesn't have any means which he would be able to defend himself whilst he is in such a situation, so even if the first one missed, he wouldn't be able to stop the onslaught. With a powerful swing, you finish the guard, his lifeless body now laying limp on the ground.
All right then. Well, I'd have suggested we move or hide the body, but nobody else knows we had any connection to this, especially when Celestia shifts back to her base form.
Speaking of Celestia, it is at this point that you return with Saxiron.
What the hell have you two done?
Well, everything wasn't plain sailing, Saxy, so we had to improvise. Anyway, we managed to get you the plate armor. It's just over there.
Well, thanks, I guess. As far as I'm concerned, I had nothing to do with this, so my conscience is clear.
True. You have enough on your conscience after you nearly got that innocent old lady killed.
I didn't nearly do anything. That was Raarh.
No, you was the one who summoned him. You irresponsibly sent in the Raarh without any thought of the mayhem that you could cause. Learn to own your mistakes, Saxy.
Whatever, man. Joe, I pick up the plate armor and place it inside of my new bag of holding, which I crafted last night.
Oh, how have you got another one of them?
It's an ability I have, Tronald. Why?
Nothing. It's just, if you didn't wander off, we could have avoided killing the guy by putting him inside the bag to transport him over the clearing undetected.
Don't you fucking dare. You and Raarh were the ones who sent me away because I was, and I quote, not needed for any aspect of this.
Well, that was before we knew you had a bag of holding. You should really learn to sell yourself more.
Well, if it's okay with you, Saxy, I think the least we could do is put his body inside of the bag and transport him somewhere where he will be found easier, so he can have a proper send-off with his friends and family.
I don't know, Celestia. Whilst that is a nice thing to do given the circumstances, that will just put us at further risk when trying to avoid any fallout from this situation. What we could do is deliver an anonymous note, informing the city guard that a body has been found outside of the city.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, as long as we manage to deliver some closure to his loved ones.
You're all so fucking emotional. It's really not that big of a deal.
Well, we've had our way with the situation, Raarh. So the least we can do is respect the wishes of Saxiron and Celestia when it comes to how to finalize it.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay, guys, so what's the plan?
Well, I'm going to change back into my original form for starters.
Excellent. Okay then, Joe. We're going to walk around the far side of the tree line and approach Waterdeep from an angle where it doesn't look like we've come from this forest.
All right, after a roughly 5-minute trek, you veer away from the city's outskirts and circle back towards Waterdeep from a less conspicuous route. Emerging from the veil of the trees, the city's gates loom ahead. You can't help but catch the nervous, flickering glances from the guards, their eyes anxiously scanning the tree line, awaiting the return of their superior. Tamping down any suspicion in your demeanor, you smoothly blend into the stream of townsfolk and return to the bustling veins of Waterdeep streets.
All right then, guys. I reckon this is the moment where we can diverge for a bit. Take a few days to sort out our individual errands. We'll reconvene once we're all sorted, all right?
Yeah, okay. Shall we just say we shall rendezvous at the Ember's Embrace 3 days from now?
Guys, what am I going to do for 3 days?
Yeah, that sounds good to me, although I reckon that's where the majority of us will be stopping on nights, so we will probably see each other around.
I wouldn't be so sure of that. The place was an absolute rip-off. I might just find somewhere else to stop. I'll have to see.
Guys, what am I going to do?
Have you learnt nothing, Tronald? Ah, well, just don't go getting yourself robbed again because you decide to stay at some dank tavern or try to rough it out.
Don't you worry about me, Saxy. I've been thinking about taking measures to make sure that never happens again.
Stop ignoring me. What am I going to do for 3 days?
God damn it, Raarh. Just go do something. Go have fun. I don't care how.
Incredible. These are going to be my best days ever.
As your dialogue winds down, each of you begins to part ways, diverging into the intricate labyrinth of the city, now on your own path, driven by curiosity, thirst for knowledge, or in Raarh's case, possibly a penchant for mayhem. It is with this moment of departure that we will draw the curtains for this session. See you later, guys.
Every single one of you watching better smash that like button. Otherwise, it will be your you-know-what that I'll be coming for next.
Damn, roll an intimidation check, dude.
That's a natural 20.